what would you consider yourself like as far as like a title? Like, would you be a comedian? Would you call yourself an actor? Would you call yourself an activist? You know what I'm saying? Because you got a lot of different shoes that you wear. You know what I'm saying? Like you got a lot of different hats that you put on. You know, like I see my nigga out here marching. I see my nigga always out here with, you know, the information and the knowledge to feed motherfuckers. I see my nigga out here making an ass out of himself and making motherfuckers laugh. You know what I'm saying? I see a nigga on stage. I see a nigga in like little movies and shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, what would you consider yourself? Would you say you're just an artist? Or like, you know, give yourself a title, bro.
No, I've been thinking about that because when you say you're a comedian, the first thing people want from you and expect from you is to make them laugh.
Or a joke.
That's not how comedy works. It's science though. Mm-hmm. That's how deep it is. It's science. Because comedy comes from the unexpected. So once you say, tell us a joke, oh, thank you, bro. Mm-hmm. Once you say, tell us a joke, it's no longer unexpected. People are expecting it. Oh, damn, thank you.
Just top it off, you know what I'm saying? You might get thirsty.
So that kills the whole anticipation of a joke. In stand-up comedy, the reason it works is because they're all there for it's a participatory call and response kind of activity. But in person, when you're just shooting the shit, I'm a comedian. Oh, now I have pressure where now I gotta be funny. You know what I mean? And I don't want, what if I don't want to be funny? Exactly. Then they'll be like, oh, this nigga wasn't funny, but he a comedian. But that I am funny, but I couldn't be funny in that moment. So what I say now, long story short, is I'm a storyteller.
Okay.
That's what I say.
Uh-huh. When did you actually like start getting into the comedic art of storytelling?
Crazy story. So where I live in San Francisco, I live by Lakeview, kind of in Excelsior too, like in between both of them, you know what I'm saying? So, in like a little dead end street. So, my neighbor, I had basketball courts right there too. So my neighbor was an OG Arab dude. And one of my neighbors, and we would play basketball together. This dude was OG, right? Mm-hmm. We played basketball together growing up when I was a kid. He watched me grow. And when I got sent out of state for doing the crazy shit that I did, I've never done a crime again. A little bit, but when I left, I realized that what my goal was in life, because I couldn't play sports, was that I wanted to do what in my 6th grade, which that lady told me. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to be a comedian in high school. I almost did the Lowell Talent Show as a stand-up comedian, but me and my homies, we kind of bitched out. But I always wanted to be a comedian. So my neighbor saw me walking to school. I was going to the Academy of Arts for movies, television, acting, and stuff. And he said, "Hey, bro, you need a ride?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll take a ride." And I hop in the car, and the dude was in the front seat. It was his son. And they were like, "So what you doing nowadays?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to school. I'm trying to get in the entertainment industry." He's like, "What you want to do?" He was like, "Well, I'm in school for acting, but what I really want to do is be a comedian." Mm-hmm. It was crazy how the universe works. And he goes, "Is that right? My son right here, me, he's the box office guy at the Punchline Comedy Club." And I said, "What's the Punchline?" And he was like, "You don't know the Punchline?" And then so his son started getting me in. Like, you know, he said, come watch this show. And then he told me about Sunday nights where the local comedians come. So I was going. So I was 18, going to, first experiencing the Punchline, and I had to get X's on my hand because he
can't drink.
And out of all the comics, it was like me and 2 other kids who was young. Everybody else was OGs or in their 20s. And so I just started going there all the time. And after 2 years, you know, I missed days too. I wasn't hella on it. But after 2 years, I got hired as a security bouncer. And so then I started working at the
after
Punchline.
2 years of telling jokes there?
No, I didn't tell. I was too scared.
You wasn't telling no jokes?
I wasn't telling no jokes.
So you was just chilling?
I was just chilling.
Watching and shit.
And talking to the comics here. And so at that time, I also asked one of the comics, I said, "What do I do to become a better comedian?" Mm-hmm. And he said, "Do improv." Mm-hmm. And so I researched what's the top improv school or improv place, and I started fucking with it. And on weekends, when niggas would go out in college, like on Fridays and Saturdays, I would be going to the improv shows and volunteering. I found out the more you volunteer, you can use those as credits for your classes if you do this little scholarship program. So I started getting all my classes for the low at the improv school. And I would just go there every Friday and Saturday, and then on Sundays I would go to the comedy club. And I was like hella dedicated because I realized all the crazy shit I did in high school, I was like, I already did all that. You know what I mean? Like I was doing shit, like I was...
Yeah, you was doing top notch shit, like everybody did class clown, right? I thought I was a funny nigga too. I thought I was a class clown, I thought I was just whatever. So I seen niggas like you doing the shit that I knew I better not do. You know why? Because if it got back to whoever I was living with, nigga, it's a wrap. And then you know how there's those people who don't give a fuck about that? This nigga. So they took this shit to the next level. So you could already think, like, if you are doing that in high school, if the shit is funneled right, you know what I'm saying? You could take it to the next level as a, you know, like a college student or a professional.
That's exactly what I thought. And after 2 years of working at the Punchline, I got fired. Long story. And
this nigga told a bad joke at a bad time.
And that's when I said it's time for me to actually hit the stage. I gotta quit being a bitch. You know, I should have been hitting the stage.
How old were you?
I was 22.
Okay.
And I decided to go to the stand-up comedy college. It's like a 6-week course. It's called the Stand-Up Comedy College in San Francisco, and you can pick the location you want to do it out of. And we picked the San Jose Improv, the big comedy club in San Jose. And we got to our first time hitting the stage was at the San Jose Improv, me and my homie. So we really got to learn, and we got to get free stage time at this place called the Purple Onion. So I was wiggling, you know what I mean? And then I got because I had already worked there at Punchline and Cobb's, I got my first show at Cobb's. And then I started, you know, it was a slow progress for me in stand-up because I feel like, and I'm in all humility, I feel like I would hit the stage and get laughs and felt like that's all it was. I wasn't humbled. And there was a point.
Well, what more were you looking for?
So see, in comedy, if you're a rookie comedian, you think it doesn't take a lot of stage time. Like I would hit the stage, and because of my energy, my natural funniness, I would be able to get laughs after not doing comedy for weeks. But that's not how comedy works. Because I got to a point where I told a veteran, I've never bombed. You know what I mean? And he looked at me, he was like, man, nigga, you ain't a comedian. And I was like, what? That means nigga, my shit cold, right? And within my arrogance, right? And so I realized what he said when I started trying to do as many mics as possible. You know what I mean? At one time I did 7 shows in one night, you know what I mean? Just grind.
Oh, shit.
And then I started realizing how it feels to hear silence.
You probably get tired and shit, you know what I'm saying, after a few shows, and the joke don't come out like it should've or whatever.
Everything changes.